everything in Portugal is changing. The administrative laws, the immigrant laws, AIMA officials quitting their jobs. It's just really hard to keep up with everything. But sometimes you've got to stay updated because you just might not know how it would affect you. But we've got you covered. In today's video, we'll be bringing you the summary of the latest updates, notably the new immigration policies, how they might affect you, and everything else you need to know. So ensure you watch to the end. End of expressions of interest. Recently, the government approved new rules for immigrants in the country. A significant change is the discontinuation of the expression of interest process as an avenue for tourists to seek residency in Portugal. Going forward, illegal immigrants can only seek legalization through a work contract. This decision was swiftly ratified by the president on June 3, 2024, coming into force on June 4, 2024. It came as a shock to many people, but the government claimed that it was the best thing to do to address the ongoing regularization crises in the country. For those who don't know what the expression of interest is, it's a procedure frequently used by foreign citizens who came in either illegally or with tourist visas and wish to obtain a residence permit in the country. In other words, people who arrived in the country without a residence visa decided to stay and live in Portugal. Currently, an immigrant can enter Portugal illegally, for example, from another European country. Upon entry, they request proof of expression of interest from AIMA, which, even without a job contract, can stay pending a final decision. But all these would stop going forward. With the increase in the number of immigrants living illegally, and also due to the inability of government bodies to regularize the situation of all these immigrants, the authorities needed to review this immigration policy. You might want to ask, how then can you legally reside in Portugal? Keep watching, we'll address that shortly. As we usually emphasize, relocating to a country involves proper planning. So, plan well and get our guide at a discounted price. This essential resource will teach you everything you need to know to live and earn money in Portugal. Link in the description. Alternative to expression of interest. Perhaps you recently arrived in Portugal with a tourist visa after June 4th and want to stay. And you're wondering if there is any possible way. Can you apply for a residence or long-term visa here? Unfortunately, from the little we know, there is no possibility of applying for a visa to live in Portugal while in Portugal. Visa applications must be submitted from your home country. What you can do for the time being is apply for a residence permit with a visa waiver, a student visa, family reunification, or a highly qualified worker, D3 visa. Otherwise, you have to go back to your country of origin and apply through the Portuguese consulate or VFS. With this new government policy, they intend to achieve two things: sort out the backlog of the pending processes at AIMA and change the rules for future immigrants. The goal is to ensure that migrants in Portugal undergo an exceptional regularization process to avoid potential legal complications or ending up in the administrative court of the Lisbon Circle. The alarming incapacity of the AIMA office. Talking of pending processes in the AIMA office, Deputy of the Portuguese Assembly Leitão Amaro stated in an interview earlier this month that there are over 500,000 pending processes. He mentioned, "There is an average of 5,000 requests per week and a response capacity that is currently below 2,000. This is making the lives of immigrants more difficult in Portugal. Even with the recent boost on the AIMA frontline, set by the government in March, the agency still struggles with the massive workload inherited from SEF. That's not all. It was also revealed that more than 100 employees at the AIMA office had tendered their resignation letters. This is unbelievable. If, with 100 additional staff, they couldn't speed up the backlog, what guarantees us they would do better with reduced staff? Anyways, the government also announced plans to recruit 45 visa analysts to enhance consulate services. They will also establish a mission structure with increased resources to address the over 500,000 pending regularization applications. More staff will be hired for AIMA, former SEF inspectors will be brought on board, and other temporary specialists will be hired. At this point, there is an urgent need to restructure and reinforce AIMA with human and technological resources. So if you have what it takes, you can apply. Enough of AIMA and its problems. Let's look at the good sides. Good news. Portugal Golden Visa is back on the headlines. The return of the Golden Visa. So, as part of the new policies to solve the immigration situation, the government plans to bring back the Golden Visa option to strengthen the equipment and projects supporting vulnerable immigrants. At first, the Golden Visa was introduced to attract foreigners and investors alike. Currently, Portugal is one of the main expat destinations in the world, with over 1 million foreigners living in its territory, representing 10% of the population. However, since October 2023, the real estate investment option under the Portugal Golden Visa was discontinued, only leaving certain options available, such as donations to arts and science and investments into financial funds. As a result, the modifications significantly diminished the attractiveness of the Golden Visa program for international investors. Prior to these changes, according to SEF, the former immigration agency, the Golden Visa granted 12,718 residency permits and contributed 6.4 billion euros to the Portuguese economy over its more than 10 years in operation, 2012-2023, solely through real estate investments, reaching 7.3 billion euros when factoring in other investment avenues. Realizing how profitable it is and the massive effect of the changes on the economy, the Portuguese government launched a brand new Golden Visa option for non-EU citizens interested in acquiring Portuguese residency. No concrete information about the new option was unveiled, except a section of the official press release stating that housing might be available again. Although it has already been confirmed that the new Golden Visa option will be dedicated to helping immigrants in vulnerable situations. The announcement was made by Prime Minister Luis Montenegro in a press communication. During the event, the minister said the government understands that it is necessary to regulate immigration to give people dignity. Portugal cannot be, must not be, and will not be with its door closed to welcome those who are looking for an opportunity, who have the know-how, who have a desire, who often have what we need most. Portugal will not close the door to anyone who wants this opportunity. Another good news is that Portugal has introduced another type of visa, the temporary stay digital nomad visa. Digital nomads wishing to visit or stay in Portugal temporarily should look into getting a temporary stay visa. It promises faster procedures and fewer requirements. The visa is made specifically for digital nomads, and as long as you meet the income requirements, you will find yourself with full access to the Schengen zone throughout your stay. However, there are a few peculiarities about this type of visa that you must note. The temporary stay visa allows a 12-month stay and can be renewed up to 4 times. However, it cannot be extended for citizenship purposes. You must also be able to prove a minimum earning of 3,280 euros per month. When applying, you need a valid lease agreement, bank account, police clearance, and a few other documents. But family reunification is not permissible with this visa. This visa is ideal for non-EU EA citizens who can work remotely and reside temporarily in Portugal without committing to long-term residency. It's safe to say that Portugal is currently in a transitional phase with its immigration services. Notably, the Portuguese president enacted adjustments to the judicial regime governing the entry, residence, exit, and deportation of foreign citizens. Significant changes have been made to the family reunification processes involving children by introducing new digital measures. Individuals applying for family reunification residency now have access to these measures. Another key change is the implementation of biometric data in the citizenship process, which enhances security and accuracy in verification. This change allows the successful applicant's biometric data to be used to issue a passport and a Portuguese citizenship card. However, there are still efficiency issues with immigration processes in AIMA, leading to a backlog of pending cases. We also encourage you to watch the next video on your screen to know even more about what's going on in Portugal. Thanks for watching and see you there. Ciao.